Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Goa Cast, where we speak with some of the best and the most amazing creative minds. Joining us today is Merlin the Magician with a little twist. She's a music magician and she's done work across branding, cinema, theatre, anything you can think of, from arranging for Bollywood to coming up with the title music for MasterCard. Let's get straight to it. Welcome to the show, Merlin.
Thank you, Aditya.
Pleasure to have you here.
Same here.
How do you enjoy being at Goa Fest? Let me start right at the...
Well, I'm a little biased because I'm Goan. So it kicks off right from there. And I think it's a potpourri, it's a melting pot of creative minds buzzing. Not just creative, disruptive, I should say. Breaking boundaries and exchanging ideas and never knowing what's going to come up from the next meeting, right? And also felicitating and awarding people in their journey. I think that's everyone needs to have a badge of kind of recognition.
Amazing.
And I think Goa Fest just does that.
So let's talk creativity, broad,
Yes.
very broad. We spoke with Nick Eagleton yesterday, and he was a sculptor before he became a brand advisor and started creating brand identities. What's your past like? How did you get into music?
Into music, actually, I started as a copywriter.
There you go.
There you go. And I realized I loved copy, but music was happening. So I've been playing since I was 6 years old.
And are you formally trained?
Yes, I've got my diploma through London.
Oh, lovely.
Trinity College, my classical diploma with a BA in psychology too. And I think music just happened because, where words fail, where copyright fails, where words, like you're right, doesn't say what you're feeling, music fills that void and gap.
The emotions.
The emotions, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, with music, you can express through advertising, through branding, avatars of people, emotions, like right here we have creators, innovators,
Absolutely.
various kinds of magicians, heroes, and you have various kinds of rasas, Adbhuta, Veer, Hasya, Shringar, Courage. So imagine.
I can see your theatre background peeking through now.
Yeah.
Tell me, creativity is often seen as this unformed, unmolded blob, and from that emerges creativity. Is it really that esoteric, or is there a process?
Well, Aditya, that's an interesting question. There is a process, and it also is raw, because I think each one is born with an innate talent of who they are and what they are. So I think for that to surface, a little bit of skill aids and abets you in your process, in your journey. I always tell people when I do my masterclass, learn the rules like a pro, so you can break it like an artist, right?
Yeah, breaking rules is, I think, the fastest way to be very creative.
And curiosity. So I think the first step to creativity for me is curiosity.
How do you feed that curiosity?
I'm eager. I just want to know. You have one lifetime and you can never know everything. So based on that premise, wanting to know something is the first step of reaching out, and you'll attract the opposite and equal reaction, automatically in your journey. Because I feel just talking to you, I'm sure by the end of this, I would have learned something from you.
I hope so. I definitely am. So let's focus a little bit on the kind of work you've done. And you mentioned you've done Bollywood, you've done theatre, you've done advertising, you've done sonic branding for major brands globally. How do you differ in your approaches and thought process? How do you compartmentalize each of them?
Yeah, actually, it also is like, I think my initial journey of copywriting, which kind of attracted me to books. So I was a voracious reader. So reading evokes imagery for me, not the iPhone or not Instagram shots, but reading. And I think that translated into, and classical helps you along the way to feel emotions, to feel pictures where there aren't. And it's purely audio, right? So you're just using audio as a tool. So through the journey, I think, especially when I was doing MasterCard, they said, the sound of priceless moments. What's the sound of priceless moments?
What is it?
And I had just 6 notes, like bum 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 bum, ba da 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 da, da 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 da. See, it's repetitive.
Nice,
Da dee da, ba da dee da dee da. That's the sound of MasterCard, the sound of Tata Airlines, the sound of Air India Express. The sound of the common man with an EDM buzz, because that's India, that's Bombay for me, that's the whole of India, the buzzing, the cosmopolitan groove,
The chaos.
So the chaos, So there's method to our chaos. And I try to give that for Air India Express.
Okay.
Or the sound of HDFC Bank. transaction approved. Pum, 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 pum.
Oh,
Right?
yes. That's
So
iconic.
Yeah, so that's what I've done with brand music,
Yeah.
you know.
But how do you switch between doing it for a brand where probably you've got a fairly narrow brief, like you said, sound of pricelessness,
Yeah.
versus doing something for a theater or a play where it's more situational in most
It
cases?
is. It is. So it's for theatre, it's more background. For film, it's score. You can have just one chord for like 10 whole seconds, and it can still evoke an emotion to the screen. And if the film is great or the actors are great and there's lots happening, my work is even less, right? So maybe just a lone cello or a whole orchestral ensemble, So I think I figure out what to use, when to use, according to the emotion that's presented to me or the picture that's presented, like advertising.
Right.
I've done a lot of Amul ads too, that Volkswagen ads.
Nice.
So if the film is great, I just need a pulse, just something to enhance the film story.
And do you think the work that you do for advertising or for brands, creating sonic identity, has received the kind of recognition, there's enough awareness about it yet?
It is still picking up, it's quite nascent. But I think I'm proud to know that people call me the queen of sonic branding.
Wait, we're going from Merlin the Magician to the Queen.
And somewhere if you Google me, they say, welcome to the female Rahman of India. I don't know if it's
Wow.
a good thing or a bad thing, but it's okay, I'll go with it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Amongst the lot of brand work that you've done, which one really stands out for you? You mentioned 5 or 6. What's closest to your heart?
Definitely MasterCard. It's number one for the 4th year in a row. It's beaten Audi, Netflix, Shell, all of them. So then definitely HDFC Bank, because their avatar and their brief was, we're a bank which never stops. We are ever evolving. So I've got 2 melodies running. One is the main one, pum, 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 pum. And there's a evolving melody with pum, 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 pum.
Okay.
So that's evolving, right? It's never stopping.
Yeah.
Then definitely with Tata Airlines, because when you're 40,000 feet up in the air, what do? Abandon, right? The airline told us, feel free, but we also care for you. So the sound is nurturing and abandon.
Okay. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, so that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then I've recently done Tata New. I brought it down to 1.5 seconds of transaction approved. So the kind of tones I use, like a marimba or an electric piano or a timpani, all mixed up. Like when you listen to Netflix, when you open it, what do you hear?
Tudum.
Bum bum, right? Tudum. The 2 timpani sounds with a feeling of strings in the back.
Yeah.
As it unfolds like this. So it's
That's
mysterious.
quite technical.
It's mysterious. It's
Mysterious,
unknown, Aditya, right?
Yeah,
That's the sound. Two hits,
Amazing.
right?
Now, as a creative person in what is increasingly becoming a very numbers-led business, how do you marry the two? I mean, when you get a brief, for example, how involved do you get in understanding the customer psyche, the business, the numbers, the objectives, looking forward? Or for you, is it always only restricted to thinking about the creative solution?
No, it goes through a research. So at Brand Music, Rajiv, Raja heads it, and he's created this thing called the MOGO, musical logo. So sometimes that's important. Sometimes the soundscape is important. And I think, sometimes, you have to put the cart before the horse, and make that a winner.
How much of it is just intuition that this sounds right for your brand versus forget all the research, this just sounds right for you?
I think that's a gut feeling. Because when you're talking about, creativity, there's also another part to creativity, and that's creative disruption.
True.
Right? So I employ that part too, to be a little hatke, to break the barrier, We're working on a very big brand. I can't see yet till it comes out.
We can mute this.
But we actually had to open a bottle and use the sound of the pop, and then I put it into my software. I'm a gizmo freak, so I put it into my computer, into the sampler, and still in the process of creating sounds with it. So I'm always learning.
For anyone who wants to come into this field of work, how does one do that? Do you need to be a musician? Do you need to be a creative person?
You have to be a creative person and listen to a lot of music. I think listening is important as opposed to just hearing. There are 2 different words. So listening deeply. And for me, I think my epiphany moment, if you had to ask me, was at age 17, where someone gifted me a hand-me-down in ears.
Oh, okay.
And I heard the guitars here, I had the strings there.
Oh, right.
I heard harmonies all over. I suddenly heard symphonies coming and going. So that's when I said, I want to be a producer.
Spatial audio hit.
Spatial audio hit.
Amazing.
I want to be a producer, not just the pianist.
So for anyone who's looking to find their way through this, who has a love for music but wants to get into a slightly different space, they should just hit you up?
Yes, of course. Just call me.
Perfect.
You know where to find me. I'm Merlin the Magician. I appear and disappear, so watch out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Merlin. It's been a
Thanks,
pleasure
Aditya.
speaking with you. Hope you enjoy the rest of the Goa Fest.
Cheers to Goa Fest.
Remember to hit her up. That's where the magic happens.
Yes.